Taeyong take out his handkerchief and hand it to you. Here you are, Mrs. John. You turn around. No thanks, I have it myself. You open your bag and take out tissue paper that you carried for yourself. His hand froze in the midair. He was rejected by a woman for the first time, feeling little embarrassed but trying to act cool. He take back and touch his nose. Mrs. John, I will wait outside. Okay, it's actually man's washroom. In a rush, he show you nearby washroom, so he was guarding outside the door. You wipe your face. By the way, I want to ask Taeyong about something. As a young girl who you met people more than once, you are not really formal with them. Oh, it's my honor to answer, Mrs. John. You put some cream on face. I heard that. Does Jungkook have a fiancée appointed by Chon family? He seems shocked, then smile, as if trying to not know. I can't answer it for Jungkook. Where did you get it? He wonder, how did you know? Your ex-girlfriend? You said resolutely. Ex-girlfriend? Theung thought for a while. Which one? There are so many of them. Internally, you roll your eyes. Please, playboy. It's fine if you don't want to say, I'm just asking. You're never a person who asked endlessly. You never forced someone to say if they actually don't want to say it. You let it be. You finished wiping and freshing, turned around to go out. Maybe you stood for long that your ankles felt numb, so your heels made you uncomfortable. You gritted your teeth and squatted down to press your leg. Wine. Theo quickly came over and held your arm. He looked up. Unconsciously, both eyes connected. His face was 10 inches far from yours. It was extremely awkward. You quickly take your arm from his grip. I'm fine. What's happening here? A tall figure stood outside the bathroom, leaning against the door with cold and sinister voice drifting over. You are shocked and quickly straighten yourself. Before you could walk towards him, I vomited. You. Jungkook shoot a sharp, murderous gaze to Taeyong. That Taeyong smiled awkwardly. Jungkook, it's not what you saw. Mrs. Jones' legs should be numb just now. Don't worry, I would hit on anyone except your women. Jungkook hold your waist and turned around to warn his friend. If you dare, then I won't care if you are my friend or not. Behind, Taeyong shrugged his shoulders helplessly. Is Jungkook taking any man in the world as his rival in love? Jungkook didn't mention incident about in the bathroom and discuss about the project. Jungkook brought you to secret room with new electricity equipment. They were developing new device and looking at surrounding. It should be laboratory. Wow, so this is our new invention. Jungkook, take a look. Jimin checked each things carefully. With your ability, we're gonna develop more intelligent technology, virtual 3D games, and good opportunities for our new artists. Jimin is the main in charge of this project. Minho walked to the room checking each wires with some stuffs. Theung also praised Jungkook's decision to make this project. Jungkook is the man with ability and smartness. He had gathered many ingenious people to support this project, and it's the first transmission device that he had invented. Transmitted memory device. He had a very special reason to invent this type of device. Jungkook looked at the instruments. We can have a try. It's not sure that the transmitted memory will be not harmful to human's brain. Theung said it was just fitted and it can be dangerous to test. I will try it myself. Jungkook smiled. Every subordinates and project partners are shocked. President John, you can't do this. You were too dignified to try out something without establishing security level. Minho insists not to do stupid things. I should give the greatest trust in the things I created. Jungkook picked up the headphones and glasses. Seeing that Jungkook was not joking, Taeyong and Jimin looked at each other in concern. Jungkook, are you serious? When did I make a joke? Jungkook glanced at them. How about calling two people to try? Jimin asked. They didn't lack people. Taking risk on this device means harming own brain if it didn't work as they planned. As a president of multinational companies, Jungkook's life is so valuable to them. There is no need. I want to personally feel how effective it is. Moreover, we don't want others to leak about this business secret. If anyone dare to sneak, then I will definitely kill them. Only the five of us. No. While testing this, Jungkook will keep it on his mansion with high security until it fully created. It will be great use for military, a transmitter of memory. You are looking at them trying to understand the discussion. What was that? By hearing what they're talking, it seems stranger. Please make it simple. You didn't understand such a high-tech thing. Don't worry, it's my area. You don't have to worry about others leaking and knowing. Taeyong said, yes, I don't have to worry about this. If it's only you, then it will be easier to kill you. Unbelievably, Taeyong spread his hands and looked at you. Mrs. Joan, did you see that? This is your husband. He's really terrible. You swallow and don't know what to say. This was the first time that you heard Jungkook saying such horrible words with his light tone. Jimin was worried, so he walked forward, patting Taeyong's back. Okay then, Jungkook, who you are going to try? Me or Taeyong? Taeyong put down his hands. Let me try it. I also want to see the effect. For friends and partners in projects, they are willing to take any risk. No. Jungkook resisted and turned to look at his wife. Wine, come here. What? You stepped back. You had heard it how dangerous it was. I won't try. Isn't it dangerous? Jungkook's eyes slightly narrowed. It's dangerous, so I asked you to try. If anything happens, you will die with me. What? You became anxious. Did he want to drag you even if he wanted to die? You look terrible. I want to go to bathroom. Excuse me. You are about to walk away, but you hold your arm. No, Jungkook, please. Wine, I'm with you. You shook your head, Jungkook. It seems you will cry. He caressed your cheek softly and whispers, don't you believe in me? Your anxiety slightly dropped by his closeness and you stared into his eyes. He put your hand on his chest. Come with me. Okay. You nodded and walked with him to take a seat on the machine. Your thighs are trembling. Jungkook grabbed your both hands sitting in front of you. You suddenly felt that you will not make it from here. Jungkook, can I say my last words? What was the woman being afraid of? He is also sitting there. Did you worry that your husband couldn't guarantee your safety? Jungkook helped you to put headphones and eye mask. Seeing your legs are shivering, present there people are all sweating. Jungkook deliberately planned to try this with you. Okay, we are ready. Couple sat down. Taeyong, Jimin and Minho walked to cabin that was separated by a glass wall. Went to operate the instrument. Thinking in the mind that something horrible will happen, you tightened your hands around Jungkook's palm, gripping it for your dear life. Afraid that he will leave you alone there. After some time, you started to see pictures and people, women, beautiful and gentle, walking in the garden with two teenagers. Atmosphere was so good and warm. Then it showed big hall with many people gathering. Blessings them seemed some occasion. Everyone was happy, but suddenly something happened. People started to run here and there. Hall was catch and fire and fog make many people cough and collapsed. Two teenagers was protected by women. It seems she is mother. The scene changed, your expression also changed. It was man who was telling all this, but your imagining type of scenery, like someone brought a CD of someone's past and show it to you. Women and teenagers are trapped for a week, groaning, roaring with their strength. No matter how much they tried to break free, it was no use. It was painful. Their mouth was sealed, and one guy was saying something, pinching women's chin hardly. Women was smart and did everything to protect her sons. But even though how much she could do, each time was torturous and hell for them. Those demons made them suffered, tortured that woman, and tried to kill. She was mother after all. She would do anything to keep her children's safety. She tried to break free and escaped with her two sons, and halfway she was success, but those gangsters couldn't be calm and kept looking, searching them. All you can imagine was painful scenery and muted screams of women and desperate to protect her children. Despite being injured, those gangsters killed that woman and her son. It's full of cruelty, darkness and tearful. It's like the part of your being experienced extremely painful side. Wanted to fight, but the strength was not enough. The anger and feeling of useless. Wine, wake up. Tears roll down from your eyes and you are shivering so much. He was witnessing his mother's and brother's death collapsed on the backyard of someone's house, breathing his last breath. Probably there was many beaten marks, legs are injured, and he just wait for his dead laying on his face. Eyes slowly closing. Oh, girl was playing and she saw boy falling down after jumping from the wall. She ran and squatted down. Brother, what happened? She panicked seeing the blood. Mama, she ran towards house. My mummy and my brother. He was unconscious for long and with a panic he wake up. Lie down, sweetheart. You are so injured. What happened to you? Boy couldn't even talk properly and all could he saw was unfamiliar face of women and little girl. Those people will kill my mummy and brother. Auntie, help me. In a muddle-headed, desperately he asked. Calm down first. Who gonna kill your mummy and brother? What happened? Tell me clearly. I will call the police. With woman's help, he started to recover, but he was depressed over the fact that his mother and brother couldn't survive. It was terrible after witnessing horrible thing at such a young age. He couldn't find the calmness and beauty of the night. He was innocent teen introvert. The night surrounded and he shrunk further into blankets, so scared. Many sleepless nights, often opened his eyes in the middle of each night, widened pupils and attempt to look at the ceiling filled with darkness. The scene of people's cruelty and mothers and brothers screamed. Go, son, run, run away. Mother screamed on the top of her lung while holding man's leg, and she swore as long as he survived, he would make them die, take their life away. It was raining and sky was cutting and blasting. Thunderstorms keep coming, but he felt nothing but coldness. His whole body is shivering. The door was open and he doesn't need to bat an eye to know who it was. Ko, are you asleep? She slowly climbed on his bed and bent down to check. Go away. His sudden outburst scared the little girl. Little one opened her mouth wide and cried loudly, enough to scare anyone. He was scared and pulled her to his arms and covered her mouth. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He heard her sniffing, soft. Ko, if you are afraid of the dark, then I will accompany you to sleep. Hearing her, he protested. Who is afraid of the dark? He looked at her, making face about to cry again. He caressed her back. That girl's mother came. Sweetheart, what are you doing here? Come here. Girl spread her hands to her mother and mother carried her. I'm sorry. Did she disturb you? She's afraid of thunderstorms. It's okay, auntie. Mummy, why brother is in our house? She asked innocently. Sweetie, remember to accompany him in the future. Don't trouble him. Be a good girl, okay? Happiness is the first word he learned from that little girl. How she never leave his side, and that babish voice and all are his favorite. But this didn't run for long. Those people came to search him again, and this time they fully destroyed his happiness. To protected them, little girl's mother also sacrificed her own life, asking him to protect little ones for his life, but that never happened. He was taken away. Perhaps this was merely a dream, a very long dream. Since that day, he never saw that little one. He was taken away by John family finally after he lost his mother and brother. He blamed his father for this, and hatred filled in his heart towards him. Dozen of gangsters found dead by Mr. Jones' force, but Jungkook still thought that if he could do that little faster, then his mother and brother would have been survived. Mr. Jones took him as his family's heir and successor. Once in a life, anger would burst out of once like a volcano. A terrible smile appeared on Jungkook's face slowly. Where is Mr. Jones? He had never called his father like this. With that murderous expression, it was so horrible. Jungkook took out his father's gun and straightly went to living hall. He was just a teen boy with no great skills. That's why Mr. Jones easily dodged. Everything changed. His life changed. His aim changed. He was all alone since little girl left. No one gives him candy anymore. No one was there to call him lavishly. There are only two things left to do in his life: to find that little girl and take care of her in his lifetime, and to wait for it was endless sorrow. He stood in front of railing after running out of that room and find quiet place to calm yourself down. Wind was continuously blowing. He was still shivering. The imagination was still fresh. Such a ruthlessness and terrible. How useless he must feel to see all this in front of his eyes. Why did he have such a dark memory? It was so cruel. Your body feels cold and you tremble slightly. Jungkook walked behind and puts his hand on your shoulders. I had a reason to not let you contact with John family. Did you telling me all this? Your head leaned back on him. His hand slowly dropped down to wrap around your waist from behind. Because you want to know why I was angry with you contacting John family. They let my mother and brother died. He hated it. You turned around to look at him, even if it's merely sympathy, but you couldn't avoid how his teenage memory was. He was badly wounded inside and outside. He took over the company at the age of 15 and did many hard work and sacrificed his teenage just to be today's John Jungkook, president of multinational companies. Then why don't you leave John family? Your voice was slightly hoarsened. Jungkook's lips twitched. Because I want to keep my identity of the John family's higher. As his father wanted, his father's enemies won't harm him. John family was his shell until he made his own name. He cruelly let his father left from his life, swearing that he won't see him again because Jungkook blamed his father all for things happen. Now his all decision was decisive. He think of himself, but he grabbed your chin and made you look up. Wine, you are my wife. You must stand on my side. If you contact John family without telling me, they might take advantage of you. So I don't want you to contact them. Do you understand me now? You never thought about it. He didn't want you to contact John family. It's not because he didn't want to take you to see John family. It's because he lost his mother and brother while Mr. John was overseas and he didn't make it in time. I'm sorry, he apologized finally for your doing. You could feel his anger and hatred when you talked to John family behind his back. Listening to you, he come closer and kiss your lips. I don't want you to get hurt. No hunger, no rush. Just pure and comfortable couple sharing their moment. Week later, early morning, Jungkook left without eating and saying anything. Maids and Mr. Bang looked at each other, not having any idea. He stood muddle-headed after he left. He didn't even talk to you. Madam, what happened to you and master? Mr. Bang asked. You bite your lower lips, thinking about yesterday night. You should ask him. Tears fill in your eyes and you wipe with your sleeves. You just drove the master out of anger. Since you married him, then you must remember clearly about how he treats you. You didn't say anything and wanted to cry, thinking that he only wants to use your body. He had asked you to go to his room, but you didn't want. You had a reason to not sleep with him. It's hard to imagine how man's mind works. He came to your room, but you didn't let him sleep there with you. Maybe he just want to sleep or have you, but since you are having monthly period, you denied saying that you didn't want to sleep with him. Maybe man take it as another's mean, so his pride got hurt, and he just slammed your door and walked out of your room. The next morning, this happened. He didn't ask the reason, and you didn't explain it. That's it. Each would make own theory and hurt own self. You wiped your eyes again. This is my business with him. Even though he held wedding with you and got marriage certificate and was serious about this marriage, but when girls say no, then why he should get angry on it?